How are we all doing? Happy Monday. It's Monday again. Nearly the beginning of the month, isn't it? 30th, 30 days have September, April, June, and November. What's the month? September, isn't it? It is. It's the first tomorrow. So tomorrow, first of the month, which means today we might get some volume because they may well be September, October, November. It's end of quarter as well. So we might get some big moves. Need to fix the sound. What's wrong with the sound? Your sound isn't good. What's wrong with it? Megaphone. How about that? Is that better? Crackly fuzzy? I don't know. I haven't done anything. I haven't touched it. It's the same. How does it sound now? Better? Muffled? I don't know. I can't do anything with it. I don't know. I can't do anything with the sound. I mean, it's nothing. I haven't changed anything. This still doesn't work. That's still not working. Echo too much. Gain? I haven't got any gain. The gain is turned at 49. I can turn the gain up. That's with the gain turned up. That's with the gain turned down. I can change it to lots of different levels and it changes the gain and stuff like that, but I don't really know where it should be because I haven't touched anything. Obviously they've done an update in Windows or something and it's everything up, but I don't really know how to fix it. If it's bugged, I will have to end the stream and come back tomorrow because I need to get it right for the members, which are in an hour. Unplug and plug it back in. I don't know. I'm making a difference. I'll try. Hello, testing. There you go. There you go. I've unplugged it and plugged it back in. Any better? I can move it further away. Is that any better? No? I don't know, guys. Same. Is it? I'll scrap the stream then. I'll have to start again. I'll have to, because I need to fix it. We've got a member session at 9 o'clock, so I need to spend the morning fixing this for the next hour, so I'll be able to stream. I don't know. I haven't changed anything. I haven't got, there's no settings because this thing's forked. Logitech G Hub, basically, this used to have a piece of software called Blue Voice, which was fantastic. You could fine tune it, do everything to it. For some reason, Blue Voice decided to sell out to Logitech, put it into this Logitech Hub, and it doesn't work. But this has been like this for a year for me, and so I haven't changed anything. I have got sound settings in here. Sound. Microphone. Still series sonar. How about that? Is that better? Does that make any difference? Being like that. Talk to me, people. Is that better? It's on 100%. What about down there? What if I put it down to there? Down to there, and then if I move this slider up here, is that better? Does that sound better? That worked. Did that work? That sounds better, does it? Okay. Yes? Okay. Fine. So it's something to do with this sonar, which is part of the Still series software. Ugh. There's obviously been an update on that, which has screwed everything up. There we go. So that's the first 5 minutes of the stream wasted, but at least we know where we are. Why do they update stuff? This is why I don't use MT5. Yeah, because MT5 constantly update their software, not by choice. They push out automatic updates. You don't get a choice. They break stuff all the time. EAs stop working, indicators stop working, your terminal freezes. Yeah, you shouldn't. You should basically every time there's an update, when you boot up your PC every morning, it should go, "Here's a list of stuff to update. Any of this you use on a regular basis and is critical to what you do, yeah, then don't press the button." There we go. So there we go. Hopefully that's fixed that. So, morning everybody. Morning Mark. Rodrigo. For some reason I can't find the join button. There's links on the website. If you go to the live room, there is a button, become a member. That will open up this page. Oh, that's meant to open up a page, basically, where you can join. What? It's obviously, everything's broken today. I don't know what it is. But if you go to any video, there's a join button there. Scroll. When you click that, it does that. I don't know otherwise. That's pass. That's the only place there is a join button, as far as I know. Morning, Callum, Peter, JC, Mark. Sound is right. So we're going through talking about microphones and megaphones. Morning, Forex, Harold. So I'm just reading chat. Too much echo. Sound is improved when you join the channel and pay. Yeah, that's it. So you get crap channel sound in here, but in the private members group streams, they're going to be brilliant. Morning, everybody else. I haven't said morning to Virginia, Church, everybody else going through here. I think everything's to do with the sound being broken. There we go. Right. So we're up to date. So let's have a look at what we're covering today. So this morning, obviously, stream's going to be until just before 9 o'clock because the membership streams start at 9 a.m. every day now. So in these streams, the free streams, basically, I'm going to do the same thing as I normally do. Go through the news, go through the trades, go through setups, go through everything, go through the charts, usual stuff. We'll cover any content that you want covered. Talk as normal, basically. But the member streams are going to be much more detailed, in-depth stuff. So I posted yesterday in Discord what we're covering this week. So this week is going to be Strategy Development Week. And we're doing today, the first one we're doing is backtesting, how to set up backtesting, all the detailed stuff about how backtesting works. We're going to go through the strategy tester in detail. We're going to go through tick data in detail, settings within tick data suite, what it tells you, what it doesn't, how to do it properly, how not to do it, what to look out for, pitfalls. Blah, 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 blah. We're going to go through optimization. We're going to go through quant analyzer, portfolio analysis, how to find the right exit strategies for stuff, what works with which strategy types. I'm looking over here because there's a load of notes. Prop firm strategies. We're going to go through basically everything to do with strategy development. I'm going to run these weeks basically, hopefully twice a month. I'm going to do a strategy development week where we're going to focus nothing but strategy development, and we're going to build strategies, test strategies, and hopefully find strategies that we can use. And then we're having a price action week. We're going to have a trader development week, and we're going to have indicator training week. So there's only 4 weeks in the month. I've got 5 weeks worth of content every 4 weeks. Still not sure how it's going to work. So basically today and this week is kind of feeling through it and see how it works and see what everybody wants to do and how they want to do it, because it's your streams. So I will adapt to how you want it. So anything you want to know about, stick it in the comments section below. Yeah, we'll stick it in the streams basically. So kicking off today, let's have a look at the indices. So DAX and everything today. Break long DAX and FTSE this morning. So nice clean breaks so far. Opening range and pre-market range. Measure opening range and pre-market range was there. So the pre-market was too small on the FTSE, so it's taken an ORB of the 5-minute opening range. Pretty much on the DAX, it looks like the pre-market range and the opening range are pretty much the same. So long breaks on those. Last week on Friday, we didn't really go anywhere. So the FTSE, we retested this high. We can't seem to get through this high in the FTSE. Really struggling last week to make any progress at all. It is an ascending wedge. However, typically they will break long. So it looks like we're going for new highs basically on the FTSE. The DAX, we put in all-time highs last week. Twice. We did it on Thursday and we did it yet on Friday. So again, maybe going for all-time highs, but doesn't seem to be stopping. So the DAX break long is a really good long trade to take if it gets into a trend, because it will just fly. So might get some decent movement on that, but both broken along this morning. So we'll see how those go, see if we get any momentum. So end of month, end of quarter today. So banks and institutions move on weekly, monthly and quarterly reporting cycles. So when you get an end of month and an end of quarter falling at the same time, you quite often will get a lot of volume coming through as they go and close out positions to get the reports where they want them to be. So obviously all banks, institutions are paid on commission. They have performance targets, which are quarterly and monthly reported. So as you are getting towards the end of quarter and end of month, it's in your interest to get that P&L as high as you possibly can, because it's payday. So you quite often find you get big volume. Doesn't mean big movement, it means big volume. So a lot of orders coming in. If there's a lot of people wanting to close shorts and a lot of people wanting to close longs, and they put 5 times the volume in, that doesn't mean it's going anywhere. It means there's going to be 5 times the volume going in. Yeah. However, if everybody is been shorting all month and they need to close out by going long to exit their positions, and they all do the same thing at the same time, you get 200-300 ADR moves. So it's totally hit and miss, totally random. But if you get big moves end of month, end of quarter, you just need to be aware that they will usually continue if they start to happen. So obviously it's just for today. Quite often they'll do this in the run up to end of month and end of quarter, because the problem obviously with a banking institution is if you've got a load of orders you need to place and there's nobody on the other side of them wanting to do the other thing opposite, you can't get them placed. So it doesn't make sense to leave it necessarily to the last day, because if you need to go, right, I've got to execute 200 million here to get the profit in, and there's only 100 million to execute, you can't do it. You physically can't place the order. So sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. We'll have to wait and see what happens. So just be prepared today. If you do see a load of volume and volatility coming into the market, that's why. So today's news, not an awful lot. We've got Powell speaking this evening. Lagarde speaking this afternoon. It's a Canadian bank holiday, and literally we've got the German preliminary CPI figures, which is basically German CPI is released by state. So you get multiple releases throughout the morning. We usually get the figure by sort of 10, 11 o'clock. But there's 6 German states, and they will report throughout the day. So we'll get an idea about the CPI figures for Europe. Obviously, Germany and France make up the vast majority of inflation figures. So this is an important one. Will give us an indication as to where we're going. All intents and purposes, the market seems to be expecting Lagarde and the European to drop that rate very, very quick. So if that number comes out lower than forecast, you'll probably see a decent drop in the euro. But we'll wait and see. So that's today's news. Coming up for the rest of this week, it's CPI, more CPI data for tomorrow for Europe. We've got US PMIs and JOLTS tomorrow as well. We've got non-farm employment, obviously, coming out. It's beginning of the month is non-farm payroll. So non-farm on Wednesday. We've got CPI for the Swiss and unemployment as usual on Thursday for the US. Services PMI is coming out on Thursday as well in the afternoon after market open, and then it's non-farm payroll and unemployment rate on Friday. So the Fed has been focusing very much on unemployment rate. It's one of the key things it's looking at the moment. So this is a big figure. If this comes out lower than expected, it means that it will take the pressure off them reducing those interest rates. If that unemployment figure goes up, it will push more focus on dropping interest rates, which will be negative US. So higher than expected number, bearish for the US. So we'll see what happens.
But the US basically have come out all guns blazing last week and said, yeah, we're going to be dropping rates faster than expected. Vitaly, welcome to the private streams. Vitaly has become a member. We'll see you in about 45 minutes. Yeah, welcome aboard, Vitaly. Google wants to confirm my identity before they let me pay for lives. Well, obviously you might be a Russian spy or something, and they don't want you to watch my streams. I don't know. I don't know how it works. I haven't signed up to a private stream, so yeah. Or a membership on YouTube. I'm tight like that. Anyway, so there's your news coming up this week. There's a fair old bit, and it's spread out throughout the whole week, which is good because we get nice big movement. But it is non-farm payroll week, so one of two things tends to happen non-farm payroll weeks. We either get that until Friday because the market doesn't want to drive a load of volume in one direction or the other, and then we get a big move, or we get a big move which is priced in and then it undoes itself at non-farm. So we'll wait and see what happens this week, but basically business as usual for the week. Over weekend news, nothing exciting. We've had the UK GDP year on year coming out this morning, which is lower than expected. Let's just see if we got any movement off of that. Yeah, some more negative movement on the pound. Not massive though. Not a lot. So that's this morning's news that we had. It's orange news, not impactive, because it's a year-on-year figure. Year-on-year figures, we kind of know what they're going to be because they're made up of monthly figures, which we get released constantly. So we kind of know what the year's going to be. We've got some little bit of China news. There's a little bit of yen news overnight, but the main focus of this weekend's news, obviously, has been what's going on in the Middle East. So it's escalating very, 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 very fast. We've got the Israelis basically massing tanks on the border of Lebanon. It looks like it's all going to kick off. They're going to go in with a ground invasion, the same as they did into Gaza. So the problem now going, this is a really bad geography lesson, but the problem with them going north out of where they are into Lebanon is they've got Iran and Iraq backing them up. These guys in Gaza didn't have any help. Much, they had a little bit, but not a lot. But we've got Iran and Iraq. And as these guys are our allies in the West, NATO, US, UK, it potentially means that we get dragged into this in a big way. So when that happens, it costs an awful lot of money. That does affect the financial markets. We also tend to get safe haven runs out of risky currencies. So you find stock markets tend to drop. So risky investment assets, stocks drop, and all the money starts flooding into the yen and the Swiss franc as a safe haven. So we've just got to be aware of any positions you have in the opposite direction. So at the moment, I've got an Aussie dollar Swiss short on. Yeah, if I had an Aussie dollar Swiss long on and it kicks off, the Swiss franc is going to rally. This thing is going to fly. So that's brilliant for me. However, if I was the opposite direction and I was shorting Aussie dollar, longing Aussie dollar, meaning that I am short the Swiss franc, if we get safe haven run, I'm going to go into drawdown or I'm going to get stopped out very, very, very fast. So just be aware of that. Same with the yens. You tend to get a lot of strength coming through when that was the new guy joining, new president being elected in Japan. So again, you'll get continuation moves down against yen pairs if that safe haven run happens. So just be aware of that. There was an awful lot of news about it over the weekend, and we know it's happening. So it's always difficult to tell whether the market's priced it in as well. We had also Fed coming out on Friday evening saying there'll be more than one cut this year, or rather he sees more than one cut this year. And I think the market also thinks the same. So potentially we could have a 1/4 point cut on interest rates in the US month on month. So we could have another 0.75 by end of year. I think that would be pushing it, but it's on track. Yeah, this is coming down very quick. GDP is doing good. And as I said, unemployment is what we're going to get on Friday, the unemployment rate. If that unemployment rate remains stable or goes up, it means they can drop that faster. It means they will want to drop that faster. So quite critical news on Friday. Now we know that the US is dropping rates. So there's your news covered. We had a really good week last week on ADR reversals. Lots and lots of ADR reversals played out last week. I've got an account running with ADR reversals. I should put that over here so I can switch to it. Yeah, I'll do that. But we had lots of movement last week, but not a lot of direction on a lot of stuff. So there was a lot of ADR hits and a lot of really easy trades last week. So today we've only got one. Linus has just subscribed to the private streams. Welcome aboard, Linus. Linus, I've got to be careful how I say that one. Welcome aboard. Hopefully see you in the private stream in under an hour, basically the first one. So if you can't make the private streams, by the way, the member streams, they are all normal streams. So as a member, you have access to a section where you can see all of those streams. So obviously comments on those streams, I'll deal with those as well when people are watching them. So you don't have to actually watch them live. You can watch them and repeat if you like. Danny, I don't know why my name is different. I don't know why your name is different. What do you mean? I don't understand what you mean, Danny. Why your name is different? Your name isn't different. It's just Danny. Why your name is not different, do you mean? Have you subscribed? If you subscribed, you should have a different colour to your name. Like Harold. And you'll have a little star next to your name. Have you got more than one account? Are you logged in? I don't know. I'm not an expert on YouTube. Sorry. Can't help you with that bit. Right, so ADRs today. New Zealand dollar Swiss. We have an ADR hit already. Be careful with New Zealand dollar pairs. This one I don't think is an ADR hit because of the broker spread at the open. So the actual market closed there. And if you look at basically what this is, it's a spread down. So this is really where we opened today. So ADR is there. We went that far ahead above ADR, and it's roughly what we spread at the open. So it's just about an ADR hit. So not the best ADR hit in the world, but it is the only one we've got today. It's a good level. So this high here is holding very, very, very well, as you can see. So literally every day last week, we hit that level, rejected it, hit that level, rejected it, hit it, rejected it, hit it, rejected it, hit it, rejected it. We just hit it today. Guess what? We're rejecting it. So ADR reversal, really good looking short opportunity, and it's pretty obvious where you're going to play it. Back down into here. So this area here is acting as support. This is the high of the range last week. So literally we are bouncing around range. The problem with range trading is by the time you've identified there's a really good range, it's ready to break out of that range. So you have to be careful. But good rejection at the highs there. Good looking short opportunity. You've had a reverse alert in already and a retest, and market structure looks like it's going bearish. So looking for a push back down into basically the close of Friday or Friday's low, which is ADR to the other side. But with ADR reversals, typically targeting somewhere between a third to a half an ADR move down. If you go for a whole ADR move down, you're basically looking for an A-shaped recovery like that, or a V-shaped recovery like that, depending on whether it's an ADR hit to the upside or downside. But it's on the cards. So that is your only ADR hit today. Obviously, there's no weekly hits because to get a weekly hit, you need stuff to have moved. That's the only thing that's moved today. So there's nothing there. And the monthlies, obviously, it's the last day of the month. There's not much point in looking at them, but we've been looking at them all the way through the month. Some of them have played out beautifully this month as well. It's been a really good month this month for movement, up and down. So, Mark, welcome to the private streams. Thanks for joining and subscribing. We'll see you in an hour, hopefully. If you can't make them, watch the replays. Blue Trader, morning from Pontevedra. That's a really weird weather forecast. So it's rainy, cloudy, and rainy. So it's more raining than cloudy, but you basically haven't got any sun, unfortunately. Pretty much the same as here. It's peeing down. It's not good, is it? So ADR reversals, that's your only one today, opportunity-wise. RSI extensions. What's going on with my RSI dashboard? What? What's going on with the RSI dash? Have I been messing about with colors or something? Let me just quickly save the settings on that and get rid of it. What's happened there? Ah. Weird. Where's my RSI dash gone? It's technology morning today, isn't it? It's one of those mornings. Oh, I moved it. I think. What's going on? Has anybody else got a problem with their dash this morning? How weird. I don't know what that is. What's gone on there? Yours is fine, is it? I have no idea what happened there, what that was. That was really weird. There we go. That's a new one on me. I've not seen that before. Anyway, so there you go. There's your RSIs. Let me just move that back into the right spot. Yeah, don't know. That was weird. Yours was blank this morning too, was it, Twig? There's not been any updates on MT4. Just quickly. Sorry, just quickly check the alerts. Ah, okay. I've been flicking between different accounts this morning, and as you can see, I've got no data loaded. So that's obviously screwed it up. It's because I've been mucking about basically today. That's what it is. Okay, so that should now load. Why is pound US dollar not loading any data? Oh, something weird going on today, isn't there? I got bugs in the machine today. Anyway, I am Linus. Oh, Danny, you're Linus. Okay. Well, no, you're not. You're Danny Cred. You've obviously got more than one account. The man with no faces in my system. He is, yeah. Minus fine, minus fine, minus fine, minus blank. I don't know. Just reset the template. Yeah, don't know. Very weird what happened there. I've no idea. And I'm still not getting any RSI data on pound US dollar. It's something to do with data today. MT4 has got I've got a problem with the terminal for some reason. I don't know why that is. Is it ticking? Yeah, it's ticking. That's fine. Pass. Anyway, we'll try and do some analysis this morning. Might be tricky. All the pairs, please, for non-paid members. Yeah, we will go through all the pairs in a minute. So we'll do all the analysis. I was just going to do the RSIs first. So RSI on the pound US dollar, there isn't one, so that's fine. Ignore that one. I don't know what the hell's going on with it. Just check the readings are right. Aussie dollar CAD, 70. Yeah, so it's all fine. It's just some weirdness to this morning. Don't know. Anyway, so the 4-hour RSI extensions, Aussie dollar CAD is extended on 4-hour. So nice big extension there. Very much the same as that one. We didn't get a pullback from that RSI extension. We went into accumulation. So this is the second leg up. So potentially you've got an equidistant move coming of that sort of magnitude. So it's an RSI extension on the 4-hour. So good first entry if you're not in it. If not, obviously you'll be scaling in. But that is extended quite nicely to the upside. The other extensions we've got are just about tapping into the 75-25 areas. So there's a few of them. I won't go through those individually because there's not much point. Just wondering why that pound US dollar is not updating. That's really weird. Have I got 4-hour data on everything else? I have. It's just pound US dollar. It's like their pound US dollar. Robo Forex's pound US dollar feed is screwed or something. I've never seen that before, ever. That's a first in 4 years, 5 years, 6 years, however long it is I've been streaming. But anyway, so won't be able to do much pound US dollar analysis today. It's screwed. But we'll do the rest. So I'm going to whiz through these. Let's just quickly see what's going on with the indices. So still clean break on the FTSE. And we are coming up. I'm just going to change. Oh, that's a long way away, TP1 and ADR.
Huge.
I mean, this today, basically, it's either going to hedge or it's going to break. And if it breaks, we've got a good chance of hitting ADR. So I might leave that as it is, but not a lot of volume this morning. We're not really going anywhere. Happy Hatch, welcome to the streams. Signed up as a member. Thank you very much. We'll see you in the first stream. Welcome aboard. Good icon, Happy Hatch. I like that. There's a little chick hatching out of an egg. This is like when you get a new phone and after a year it goes really slow, forcing you to buy a new one. Yeah. It is, isn't it? I don't know what it is. There's only bugs in the system today, isn't there? Anyway, right, so we're going to go through all the pairs this morning. Aussie dollar CAD. Obviously, it's breaking out. H4 RSI extension, so potential short opportunity. Lovely divergence on H4. So you've got your RSI on the H4, not basically exceeding the previous high. So that is bearish divergence. So good potential short opportunity on that one. The levels wise, obviously you've got to go out a fair old way to find a new high. It's rough. You got this kind of double top here, which is around about 300-ish ADR away from where we are at the moment. So if this is going to do 2 legs up, so where we are at the minute, we obviously had the push, no profit take move back down into here, accumulated and broke. So if they're going to put a second leg in, you might have 1 or 2 extra days moving up, basically. So we'll see how that one goes, but good opportunity for a short. Aussie dollar Swiss, I'm already in this one. Not gone anywhere so far. So I'm targeting basically a push down into this propulsion gap. But last week was just accumulation, the whole thing. We just sat here last week doing nothing. So again, little bit of a push that week. Another big bull week before we're due a pullback on this. But last week we just accumulated around the monthly highs. Didn't go anywhere. So there's a good chance this may well break out as well. Which just means I need to scale in. I've got 3 on it at the moment. I've already taken 1 profit off, but it's just stuck at the minute. Aussie Swiss ADR. There you go. That's good timing, Aussie Swiss. So ADR just been hit on that one. Again, careful of this one because of broker candles at the open. No, this one actually opened at that. So that is a proper ADR hit. So you got an ADR reversal opportunity there. Wait for a reversal. But we are testing yesterday's high at ADR. So good confluence for a short. So we should have limit orders here ready to trigger today. But if they get overpowered, obviously we're off. Swiss franc, obviously, I don't trade it that much at the moment because it's very, very volatile. But I have no problem really with this trade because I'm short. So if they do run into the safe havens with the Swiss franc, obviously this is going to come down very hard and very fast. So I'll be out of this literally within 24 hours if they do a safe haven run, because we'll get a big double ADR hit at least out of that. So like that short. All the yen pairs are the same. So since the intervention move, I've had one trade on a yen pair, and it's this one. Because that intervention move obviously is unprecedented. We've never seen anything like it of that magnitude anyway. We've had multiple interventions in the last 4 or 5 years, but not that size. This is the biggest intervention we've ever seen. It's the highest price we've ever gone to. So market obviously shell-shocked after it. Looked like it was going to start a new leg. I got in with a long, got out nicely. And it's pushed up, just taken out that high. So this to me looks like basically a price discovery failure to the downside. So we accumulated, we tried to trade, find a new area to trade. We failed. We came back up into accumulation. We tried to break out last week. We had a news event of a new leader coming in last week, which has pulled us back down into this area. So all these yens, no idea where they're going. They're pushing up and they're pushing down. I do know that the only way I really want to trade them is that, because you get a positive swap and you're going to make money by holding. If you go that way, you can hemorrhage cash very, very quickly if it goes to drawdown. So not really interested in trading yens at the moment. It's got to be a really good opportunity. ADRs, I will trade them. So if there is an ADR hit, I don't mind taking short-term intraday, intra-week style trades on it. But I'm not going to position trade it at the moment just because I don't know where it's going, and I don't really know what's driving it at the moment because interest rates are starting to increase, but they've paused, and it's still miles and miles and miles behind every other currency from an interest rate perspective. So bond purchases overseas from the yen, from the Japanese, is what was mainly driving this. They've stopped bond purchases, or they've reduced them to a very low rate, meaning that they are holding more Japanese yen and less US dollar, which means they are in now control of their own destiny. However, their economy is shot. So it's very hard from a fundamental perspective to predict what's going to happen with this. One thing I do know is if that kicks off in the Middle East, it's going to do that. So it's just really hard to trade any yen pair at the moment. Intraday is fine. If you're trading prop or you're trading 5-minute, 15-minute time frames, intraday, no issues. But other than that, holding it long term is risky. So all the ends are the same. Again, we have that big move, so there's a good chance they're going to pull back into propulsion and add a new leg on. Why that was so impactful, why they loved it so much, I don't know. I don't follow Japanese politics in any way, so I'm not quite sure why they loved it, but they did. So we had that big move on the news last week of the new leader. So all the ends basically are the same at the minute. There's ADR hits from last week, which you could have taken. Depending on how you took them, you probably didn't get out of them. You're probably still in them and holding them. So they could still play out this week, obviously today or tomorrow. But other than that, not sure what to do with these yens. Aussie New Zealand, sideways mess. Absolutely nowhere at the moment. We're just chopping around in a 2-week range. We're bang in the middle of it. So wait for highs, short it. Wait for lows, long it. You can trade it in either direction. It should be fundamentally more long than short from an interest rate perspective, but it's not really reacting particularly well in either direction at the moment. So really should be able to trade this in either direction. I don't think there's any reason it will go off into a massive strong run in either direction either. So it's a case of just scaling in and scaling out as normal, but no signals at the minute. Nothing to do with it. Aussie US pushing up above new highs. So we're out the top. RSI is getting extended. You had an extension last week, just about. Some took this, some didn't. When it played out within 24 hours, nice little short. That one, the hourly last week, was a good entry up here. But again, just about. Yeah, everything last week was just about, which is why the ADRs last week worked so well, because everything was very much rangy. We had a couple of big moves put in and they all reverted. So most of the time last week it was really easy from an ADR reversal perspective, but everything else kind of just flip-flopping and stuck a little bit. CAD Swiss, same, sideways, dead. We moved up, we had to move down. It's just range bound. It's just moving to different ranges and trading sideways. So nothing really you can do with this, apart from obviously all RSI extensions are looking good. So you're long now. Lovely long there. On the hourly, you had one there, which you would have sat in for 2 weeks, second entry and out. But yeah, it's all pretty sideways at the minute on that one as well. So we're not sure where we're going. Again, all Swiss franc pairs. Much rather be doing that than trying to long, because it's more likely the Swiss is going to power up, isn't it? So we'll see. But yeah, so sideways on that one. Should be able to trade it in either direction, really, but just be aware of what's going on in the Middle East. It's a very risky time to be taking trades against the Swiss franc. We are also assuming, rightly or wrongly, that the Swiss franc is going to remain a safe haven. Yeah. So obviously the reason it is a safe haven is because interest rates are always very low and always very stable. Inflation is always very low and always very stable. GDP is always stable. There is no unemployment. It's not a currency that changes its directional bias very often. It stays out of NATO. Yeah, it doesn't get involved in conflict. Yeah, so every other country, basically, when anything kicks off in the world, they're financially affected. These guys just sit there and go, you lot carry on with it. We're going to sit here and take all your money, which is why we put our money in the Swiss. So we're assuming that is still the case. We've never been through an interest rate move like we've had in the last few years. So it's still to be determined. But you kind of get clues when the Japanese do moves like they did, and you see the Swiss mimicking that move, that the Japanese and the yen are going to remain safe havens. So for now, assume anything kicks off and financial markets panic, the Swiss franc will rally. So you want to be short against the Swiss. So at the minute, that no trades on it anyway. But you had an entry last week. Look, if you're trading 70-30 levels on RSI mean reversion, you had an entry last week, which was played out on Friday. Basically, Friday was the day. Big move. So the Euros, Lagarde is speaking this afternoon. We will see if she says anything new, but the overall market reaction at the minute and expected movement on the euro, that's a Fed rate cut. There was something on Friday about the euro. Yeah, there we go. So markets price almost 80% chance of a 25 basis point cut in October from around 60. So the markets are factoring in an interest rate drop in October. We thought it might be a pause. They now think it's much more likely that we'll get a drop. If Lagarde comes out and confirms that today, we'll get euro weakness. So all the euro pairs, as you can see, market now thinking, yeah, we want to be short euro. So much more likely that your short positions are going to play out faster than your long positions on all the euros. So any RSI extensions to the upside, ADR hits to the upside, probably better trades than the short ones. However, everything is dropping interest rates. So if, for example, the Australians then drop their interest rate, the euro will rally against the Australian dollar. So it should move in both directions, but it's going to be more inclined for weak movement, I suspect. So there's a nice short there, look. So that's the sort of movement that is going to be, that played out in within 24 hours. Very, very quick trades to the downside. Long trades, probably a little bit more grindy. So, but really, as interest rates are dropping everywhere, in theory, everything will be going up and down all the time. So there's a good chance that you should be able to trade it in both directions as well. It's just you'd probably be longer, holding longer in those directions. So Euro CAD, there's no setups at the moment. There was a nice long last week on Monday. There you go. There's a prime example. So when you take a long on the euro is likely to get less positive news, therefore less likely to get news to help you out of trades, and it's going to take longer for things to happen. So if you were long on that RSI extension there, you're out. You had an out 2 days later, and if you didn't take that one, you had an out on Friday. So that would have been to target, which would have been there. So yeah, perfect. But obviously it took a week. So longer holds, basically, if you're longing. Euro Swiss, very much the same. Yeah, I want to be shorting against the Swiss, really, in theory. But, this is all very much, it's all speculative. I'm assuming it's going to kick off. If it doesn't kick off, it's not going to fly down, is it? If it does kick off and the markets don't panic, it's not going to fly down. Yeah, so it's just caution, that's all. So Euro Swiss, much better shorts. Euro Pound, I'm long, have been long for ages. Every trade I take on the Euro Pound at the moment takes forever to work out. That one was 3 weeks-ish. I've been in this one now for a week and a half-ish. I'm not looking for much, just a little bit of movement. I've already banked on it. I've banked over £1,000 on it, done drawdown control. It's just not getting anywhere. Slug. Absolute slug. ADR is 35. It just doesn't move. Not my favorite pair in the world at the moment. It's just taking forever. So my average is at ADR, which is a double top out of propulsion. So if it gets back up to there, again, I will close this position out in exactly the same way as I did there, and I'll do more drawdown control. If I'm stuck in something and it's not going anywhere, I'm just going to do gradual drawdown control on it. But no setups there. Euro New Zealand moving down against New Zealand dollar. So New Zealand dollar not doing bad at the moment with the Aussie, but they are still dropping interest rates. So again, that's going to be harder to work out than that. But then again, you're going to find it a lot harder to get entries short because it's not going to push up. So ADR hits to the upside, RSI extensions to the upside. And this is something I want to talk about in the strategy streams as well. Always use symmetrical entries. So when you're using any indicator, using the same level long and the same level short. When you've got a bias from a fundamental perspective, it actually makes more sense to go, I'll take 70 on the shorts because I'm expecting it to go down, so I don't need it to push as far before I get in. But on the longs, if I'm going to go long on it, I want it well below the 80 level, the 20 level rather. So using a bigger extension level for things that are going against the trend, and a lower extension level for things that are going with the trend. It's another idea we can play around with and do some testing on. So Euro New Zealand not really going anywhere. Euro US dollar, as you can see, we didn't go anywhere last week. We didn't go anywhere the week before. So that's the 2 week, and that is the 1 week range. We are gradually moving up on this because the US dollar has been dropping. We didn't manage to crack last month's high. We had 2 goes at it, and we're just sitting around. So you had a short there, beautiful. You had a long there, beautiful. As you can see, I took that one, which was an ADR reversal. But yeah, it's just waiting for this to go somewhere at the moment. There's not really any reason it will do because we're dropping rates really quick here. We're dropping rates really quick here. A short against a short is a range. That's exactly what we've got. So longs or shorts, I don't care. Just any kind of movement in any extreme news will give opportunities to get into it. But at the moment, we're just waiting for it to do something. Don't trade from the middle of a range. No point. The odds are 50-50. When you get up to here, the odds are much higher. You're going to get limit orders, help your order in its direction. Same with the lows. So right now we're bang in the middle of nowhere. So nothing to do. Pound, Bailey is not giving us any information at the moment. Shorts, I think, but we're stuck. Interest rates are stuck. We're not changing interest rates. Our inflation isn't changing. Our GDP is virtually not changing. Our unemployment is virtually not changing. It's like someone just turned off the economic tap in the UK. We're stuck. We're totally stuck. We're waiting for that interest rate to come down because we've hit target. They're not doing it. Hopefully October we'll get another interest rate drop, but the market has got to anticipate drops in interest rates in the pound. Therefore, it's got to be thinking about factoring shorts in. It's not. really, is it? Look, sideways. So again, I think you probably get out of shorts quicker than you will longs, but until they make a decision, it doesn't really matter which way you trade any pound pair. So I wouldn't mind getting in either direction. It's just finding it hard to actually get any movement. So had a nice little short there, as you can see, very quick scalpy trade on an ADR. You had a long down here, you had a short up there, you had a long down here. Yeah, it's working fine in either direction at the moment, but at some point Bailey's going to come out and say, okay, we think we're going to do it in October, or they're not, and it's going to carry on, and he's going to say we think we're going to do it in November, and then they will start to factor in a short. Yeah, don't forget they price in interest rate changes 2 to 4 weeks before they happen. So we're just waiting for Bailey, waiting for some news, and when we don't get it, we get sideways. So pound CAD, very much the same. I've got shorts on this at the moment. We're stuck. Yeah, so we've had again, I've taken some profit on this one here. Yeah, it's not going anywhere last week. That was last week. Yeah, so that was the trade I took the week before last. Last week I just watched my P&L go up and down. It's not going anywhere. So it is looking like it's going to break out today. So it might be an accumulation break, which means I'll have to scale into it, unfortunately. But I've only got 3 positions on it. I'm just waiting for a push down. 125 ADR is my average, easily achievable on a news event. Just needs some movement, not going anywhere. All the pounds very much the same, so much better shorts than longs. Lovely short entry there, which you would have got out on Friday. But yeah, just waiting for stuff really, aren't we? Look at it, it's just range bound. Yeah, it's just we're stuck on so much stuff at the moment. It's just not going anywhere. Again, range bound. Nice breakout. Look for some longs down here. It's longing now. Look, you're just getting a bullish engulfing and an outside bar pretty much with an H4 RSI extension. You'll be extended on the hourly as well and embedded since Friday. So good push back up into there. You've got divergence on RSI. It's all bullish. Target that propulsion gap, those lows. So it looks good for longs. Pound US dollar is actually working now. Terminal freeze. I wonder what's wrong with my feed on the 4 hour then. Why is it not getting data? Very weird. It's like the 4 hour chart. It just doesn't want to do the 4 hour chart, does it? We'll just look at the hourly. Sideways. Yeah. So the 4 hour chart will be very much the same as that, just over a shorter period of time. Sideways. So not really going anything. Yeah. New Zealand dollar CAD. The New Zealand dollar dropping interest rates, everyone else dropping interest rates a bit faster and harder, so a little bit of a bull move there, but not really an awful lot to say about the New Zealand dollar. It seems to be, if you look at all the New Zealand pairs, they're not doing bad at the moment. They're dropping interest rates as everybody else is, but it's still very high. Yeah, so obviously, even if you are dropping interest rates and you've done it unexpectedly, when your interest rate is higher than someone else's, it makes more sense to have more money sitting in your bank account. Yeah, I'm going to earn more interest putting my million in the New Zealand dollar than I will in the Canadian dollar. Therefore, I'm probably going to hold more New Zealand dollar than I am Canadian dollar. That means that it goes up. Basic economics. So shorts or longs, really. You should be able to get out of anything on this. Market structure is fairly nice. It's a little bit squeezy at the moment, the New Zealand, because we've had a bigger than expected interest rates drops elsewhere. So, but you know, just waiting for RSI extensions, the usual stuff. RSI extensions to the upside, the downside, ADR hits to the upside, the downside. Waiting for those big moves that we can get out on profit takes. US dollar CAD, I got out of that on Friday. So that was the ADR extension and H1 and H4 RSI extension, all signaled at the same time last week. So took that one there, out. Nice and easy, 2 days. So waiting for a new entry on this one, up or down. But there's much more upside potential than there is downside potential. But it's US dollar CAD. It's got a fairly okay ADR, but they're trade partners. There's no real interest in them being massively against each other. So any big moves don't tend to be sustained. You don't tend to get huge trends on it unless there's a real differential in interest rates and things. So so just waiting for longs or short entries on that one. H4, H1, usual stuff. Nice monthly bottom bounce there. So the news just exceeded it. We rejected it. So could push up into this propulsion gap today, or this week rather, and put in a new higher, lower high for bearish market structure, but we'll see. And US dollar Swiss, sideways, totally sideways. Yeah, totally sideways for the last 4-5 weeks. Just can't do anything with that. But ADR hits, any ADRs you get on it, lovely. There's one. ADR, short it. It wasn't an ADR. That was an ADR. You'd probably be long on it now, actually. So on Friday, we got 92. ADR is 70. So you would have been in here. So whether you're using the reversal alert indicator or the position trader EA or whatever you're using, that weekly low, you'd have taken an entry somewhere around there. And that one's just starting to go into profit today. So you'd be long on that one. There you go. Everything covered. I always have zero on at least one pair. I close and reopen it and it populates. I thought it was a memory issue. I think, Wayne, on that RSI dash, it's always the pound US dollar for me. And the pound US dollar is usually, for most people, the base currency. I think it's some calculation to do with that, but I've never managed to figure out what does it. It's very intermittent. And the problem with intermittent things is you can never figure them out. So I don't know why it does that every now and again. It's also because this dashboard updates on candle close, not on tick. I might have a look at it and see if I can figure out why it does it. But there's never any clues anywhere. It doesn't give me any clues. There's no logging to tell me this is going wrong either, which is always nice. Sometimes MT4 just bash your head against the wall because it doesn't tell you anything, but I don't know. I shall put it on my list. Hopefully we'll get to see the barrier man later today. No, it's not that sort of press conference. It's not an ECB press conference. She's not speaking. She's speaking at the European Parliament, so it's not an ECB press conference after an interest rate. That's when you get to see barrier man. Anyway, right, so that's it for today's stream. Members stream will start in 3 or 4 minutes. So if you want to join, come in. We're doing strategy development week this week. So today I'm going to be going into intensive detail about how to backtest, why you should backtest in the way that you should backtest, what it does, what it tells you, why it tells you a load of crap, and how you can ignore the crap, and how to properly manage. Oh, that's good. Job, I noticed that because I was just going to test on Heikanashi. And basically going through differences between tick data and broker data and why you need tick data. Yeah, whether you're on MT4 or on MT5, doesn't matter. You need to use proper data. So we're going to go through that and how to test, basically. So the whole week is going to be spent on backtesting, which gives you a good foundation for testing strategies, which is what we're going to spend an awful lot of time doing. But to be able to do it properly, you need to know why it needs to be done in a specific way so that you filter out crap. You put garbage in, you get garbage out. So we need to stop the garbage going in. So that's what we're going to cover this week, which would be good. All right, so anything you need, let me know. If you're watching this on replay, comments, fill out the comments below. If you've got any questions or anything you want to cover in lives, let me know. Other than that, I will be back tomorrow, same time, 8 o'clock. DAX and FTSE ain't going anywhere. So might hedge these today, might not, but not a lot we can do with these today. They're not doing anything. So we'll have a look at those again tomorrow. All right, Carrick, welcome to the private streams. Thanks for subscribing. We'll see you in a minute. So basically what I'm going to do is, just so you know, because it's the first time I've done it, I'm going to end this stream and then I'm going to start a new one. So basically, I think you get a notification as a member. But if you go into the live streams page we're going to overrun a little bit here because obviously I'm waffling, but it's quite important. So if you go to live there, you see there, members live stream session, scheduled, members only, starting at 9 o'clock now, upcoming. Yeah, so you should still see the streams in here, but these ones is members only. Yeah, it's waiting for me. Look. So these are members only one. Harold's already in there. I thought you were in here, Harold. How can you be in two places at once? Anyway, so yeah, so that's how it works basically. All right, so have a good day. If I don't see you in the members stream, I will see you in the morning. Have a good one. Morning, everyone, again. This is weird, isn't it? Coming back to another stream after just having a stream. How are we all doing? 19 people in here, is there? Wow, that's good. 19. Does that count all right? Let me just check something. I don't think I've got 19 members. 15 watching. 64 minutes ago. That's the wrong stream, isn't it? Sorry, we're on the wrong stream. That obviously doesn't work. Then the counter. I need to get rid of that. Waiting for the market structure trader. Why have you not started? I have started the stream. Am I not live or something? What's going on, everyone? Why does it say? Are we in the right stream? Help. Why is it not working? Oh, God. Which stream are we in? How do you tell? You're going to have to bear with me because this is obviously the first time we've done this. Scheduled. Members only. Upcoming. I have just started this stream. Or have I started the next day's stream by accident? I'm on the wrong stream, aren't we? This is the wrong stream. Bye. I'm going to stop this stream. We're going into this stream. Obviously, there's a way to select a different stream in the system, which I don't know about, which I will find out in a sec. So I'm going to end this one, and I'll delete this one, and then we'll come back into the live one. Right? So go and find that one, sit in there, and then I'll start that one in a sec. All right, bye.